Hello, everyone! Blue Star Saber here with...
Mangareader on a Sunday.
Yes, on a Sunday. So that means we get not one, but two My Hero Academia chapters to review. Chapters 367 and 368 of My Hero Academia, or as I like to subtitle them, Midoriya's Rage and the second uses Quirk. So yeah, that one kind of gives away a bit spoilers of what happens with 368. But besides that, there may also be some controversy we may end up talking about that's been
Oh
going on in My
no.
Hero.
Blue just likes to point things out, guys.
Yes, but yeah. But before we get into that, let's get into chapter 367, Deku versus All for One. Before that, we'll begin with its double-colored spread, of which we see it's clearly there for the promotion of the anime season 6, as we see from the book there, where we see quite a few of the more prominent characters in this that are going to be in that season. Pretty much, let's see, sitting down, eating snacks, particularly like pizza, some crisps, or like the Americans like to call them chips for some reason. Let's see, but yeah. But so yeah, we see Midoriya, Red Riot, Denki. Let's see, Tokoyami. Let's see, Uraka, Aizawa, Hawks. Let's see, and Mirako, the Bunny Girl, Mineta, and even some of the villains there, such as Twice, Darby, and Toga. Yeah. They're all just chilling, relaxing, and watching a job thing like that. In many ways, I can't help but wonder if it's like they're all like actors just sitting down for a show that have just done a show and now watching their work. That just looks kind of like it to me, but I don't know. What do you make of this colored spread?
Do I make of it?
Yes.
I don't even know what it. I mean, it's just Koei doing Koei things.
Yeah, good point. Fair enough. You don't like to. Let's see. I just like just doing comments on the covers, but that's just me. But anyway.
I mean, what it says anime season 6. I guess these are all the prominent characters in season 6.
Yes, they're doing the war arc, and the first episode is just already out.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, I have to admit, pretty interesting opening they've done for a war arc. I will admit.
Oh boy, I'm gonna
See.
have to watch it. Then again, I
Yeah.
didn't even watch all of season 5 yet.
Oh, so you've got a bit to catch up.
Yeah, but I mean, season 5 is kind of forgettable anyway.
Yeah. To be honest, I didn't even finish my reviews of season 5.
You
Granted.
didn't even finish your reviews.
Yeah. Oh well. I mean, that's the end. But let's see. Yeah. But yeah, who knows? I might review the first episode. Maybe it's something I can do with Lucky Chi, since he's going to end up missing out on these chapters. So yeah, might as well just give him something to do in My Hero Academia this next week. But yeah, who knows?
Tisk.
It depends if he's willing to join. But I did send him a link now if he wants to join. But I've got no response. But yeah.
Yeah, like I said, tisk. Anyway,
On to the chapter. Let's see. We get a bit of a sort of flashback, as we can tell, probably just by the black panels on the side, is the fact that Midoriya, we end up learning who Midoriya encountered in the sky and all that stuff, and realizes that it's, let's see, Stars and Stripes fighter jets. Let's see, perhaps led by, I believe, the guy called Reg, who ends up saying that the school bus is here to pick up Midoriya and all that stuff. You know, sort of like, let's see, humor. But yeah. Anyway, but with Midoriya using his black whip to swing like Spider-Man onto the jet. Let's see, as it's revealed that these lot are supposed to be guarding the skies around UA, as Midoriya apologizes, but yeah. But he says that this will make this worth, asking Midoriya to make sure they make this worth the effort. And apparently we learned that they ignored their orders to head home and opted to stick around in Japan instead because, well, let's see, their leader, Stars and Stripes, betted everything on them and all that stuff. And Midoriya also, inherited All Might's power. So, yeah. So they ask him to use him as a stepping stone to reach history's nastiest villain and, kick his butt.
Mm-hmm.
As Midoriya uses his black whip to then grab Shigaraki / All for One. Let's see with him. Let's see if not seeing that Midoriya is here. And Midoriya managed to do quite the blow against him with a smash kick, I believe. With I believe Miro or Lumemion. Let's see, just smiling, just glad that Midoriya is here. With like Shigaraki noticing that Midoriya has gotten stronger due to that kicking. Ooh, I've got a tongue scar. I just got a text from my dad, and that's just it's something that he's bought me and he's going to send to me and all that stuff. But in the middle of a right now.
So then, Zuko.
This is sorry, I was just figuring out.
I know that. I was gonna carry it on while you do your thing.
I probably should have said to summarize while I was.
Keep doing this while I do that. Damage.
But I guess you want to continue the summary, or do you want me to go back to
I don't care. Zuko damage. Blah blah blah. We get Milady and. Izuku. Basically, the cage is shut, and then Azoku apologizing for not being here on time.
Okay, but now Shigaraki does recognize like the damage from one of the previous heroes that used the quirk. For this is All for One thinking about it.
I've seen this before.
Yeah, and he gets sent and flying, which is like you can see the damage. And with the leader of the copycat saying,
"It's not Milady, but it's Manlady."
Okay, Manlady, yeah.
I don't. Well, something like that. I'm trying to remember specifically.
Well, the leader of the Wild Pussycats, I believe.
We're gonna keep doing this, eh?
Sorry, but if you can remember the name,
Milady.
Let's see. But like you said, Midoriya apologizes, and when he does, he realizes that everyone has been knocked down to the ground, and they all look like they're dead and all that stuff, much to his shock. And he sees Bakugo lying on the floor like that, and his card all bloody. He seems to assume the worst, that Bakugo is dead and all that stuff. And sees like Best Genius on the floor. Let's see and like next to the fifth Quirk uses Fred thing. Let's see, Sun Eater and let's see, I always forget, and Nejiro, yes, and Miracle all looking bloody down, and they all look like they're dead, pretty much.
Oh no, death.
And Shigaraki mocks Midoriya, asking if he's got some excuse for being late and all that stuff. Although he assumes that was probably Toga's doing, as he mocks Midoriya for that, and tells him to make his excuses, as we see him getting up with his like giant hand and all that stuff. Let's see, and quoting excuses like, "There was nothing I could do," or "I never saw it coming." But Ritzy, of course, infuriates Midoriya a bit, as he mocks him to run away from responsibility, just like the heroes did. And we can see Midoriya's eyes sort of burning, I guess you could say, or just, you could say sparks or some sort of like flame-like thing coming out of it, or just like, the energy of All for One for All. And we see him become a bit all menacing with like black whip coming out of his mouth, his hair going all spiky, his eyes burning and all that stuff. With Shigaraki thinking that when you stoke this one's anger, his moves get pathetically simplistic. So he plans to counter his next attack and crack his spine. And let's see, he gets ready to say, as Shigaraki continues to try and mock Midoriya about how, "Do you like my present?" and all that stuff. However, just before Midoriya could go bursting in all rage mode, Luminium tells Deku it's all going to be okay. With Shigaraki getting annoyed that he's interfering and all that stuff. As Luminium tells, he gets how Midoriya feels right now, but He's warns him that he's falling into the villain's trap and all that stuff. As he tells him it's okay, as Tamaki and the others are all still alive and kicking. And that Edshot is trying to save Bakugo's life and all that stuff. Much to the controversy of how people felt about his fake out death.
I mean, it can't really be a fake out if he's actually technically dead, but you know.
I see, but yeah, fair enough. But
I guess he's not dead then if he's trying to save his life. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's true, though. Granted, many people felt like that was like a waste of suspense still. But anyway, back to the actual chapter, saying that and as he tells Midoriya, I know they can pull it off, and he's still fighting because he has faith and all that stuff. And then tells him that we haven't lost anyone yet, no casualties, as we see Aizawa and Copycat dude with Ida's like internship teacher, telling him how nobody is giving up to prove the point as they're still staring down this fight. Let's see. With Shigaraki talking about how this is just a pointless talk about just to avoid the reality and all that stuff. As Luminium reminds Midoriya that they're heroes, and heroes don't talk the talk, then who else is going to transform ideals into how let's see reality if they don't do it? As Midoriya thinks back to what All Might once said about how real is the rest of their life and all that stuff, and thinks back to what the pilot just said just at the beginning of this chapter, and then about what the fifth user said to him about how it's okay to get mad, as long as it's all that matters, controlling your heart. And Midoriya calms down as a result of that. And he apologizes to Luminium about it, with him telling him to save their sorrows and after we have Uetsu won this fight, hero. And then Midoriya uses All for One. Oh, wait, actually, no, actually, then talks to Shigaraki or All for One. Well, actually, All for One asking, is Shigaraki still in there? As he has Black Whip wrap around him like a scarf, and we see in the back all of the 6 of the previous users, all behind Midoriya, like the ones that have all like the 6 quirks and all that stuff, like a sort of like how Naruto would use the tailed beasts behind Naruto, or spirits, if you will. Ending this chapter. So, Mangareader, what did you make of this chapter?
Well, they're finally getting back to somewhat longer chapter paces. Still kind of short, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, this was a predictable outcome. Izuku being anything other than emotional at seeing his friends being down would have been kind of outrageous. Yeah. Would have been maybe out of character if he didn't react the way that he did.
That is true. But yeah, I do like that we got confirmation that yes, it was actually the fighter jets. It was not Nomu's like I was sort of predicting. But yeah, I think it became more clear that it's the Stars and Stripes pilot squad.
I'm assuming then what Deku sensed was this oncoming transformation or some nonsense or something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
And some precognition because he has danger sense. So,
but yeah,
I don't know if it was this transformation per se, but could have been. Who knows? Manga doesn't literally take place at the weekly thing that we think of it as. It's taking place in like minutes, sometimes seconds, sometimes hours.
Yeah, so see, yeah.
Either way, it's interesting to know that Midoriya got stronger in like 2 days.
Yeah, so see, but it's like it's like 5 minutes can be like 5 hours in anime and manga.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
Zuko from 2 days of training ended up getting stronger.
Well, that sounds like a shonen protagonist to me.
It does.
Let's see.
But having all that training at the start of the series with All Might amounted to him basically destroying every limb in his body whenever he tried to use his quirk. They're training to wield the power of all for one, or one for all, and they're training. Beyond that, though, I mean, what his controlled state's literally just his 100% form. So, only this time now he's got Black Whip with it. Black Whip's literally the only other move that can actually be represented here, because all the other ones are like either intangible or I mean, you can't really represent a float at 100%. You can't represent the Fuji thing at 100%. You can't. So yeah, Black Whip being the only aesthetic change here.
Fair enough.
What do you mean, fair enough? What was I supposed to say then?
I don't know. I just figured I'd just respond.
Fair enough to that. What do you mean, fair enough? I wasn't asking for your opinion. I'm telling you what's on the damn page.
That's man. I have feelings too, you know.
Yeah, I have feelings too, man.
No, but joking. But anyway. But yeah, it does look. It is interesting that Midoriya was able to it did get strong, and you can see how strong he is, given how Kai makes it very clear just how far the Shigaraki All for One just ended up flying and all that stuff.
Yeah. And then, I mean, you have Lemillion still being Lemillion, and again, his power is really the reason why he's still active, because he can't really be touched if he doesn't want to be touched. So,
yeah, honestly, perfect way to survive. Let's see. Yes, he's definitely used Kitty Pryde's X-Men powers quite well and all that stuff. So,
right.
Let's see. Pretty much, he can pretty much survive nearly any battle as long as he has his quirk with him and all that stuff.
I'm curious if. I wonder if he's still around though. If he's going to play some support roles in this battle.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised he plays some role in the fight. I wouldn't be surprised if he also gets taken out of the fight. So it'd be more of a Midoriya versus Shigaraki or Midoriya versus Bakugo fight.
Midoriya versus Bakugo?
Midoriya and Bakugo versus Shigaraki. Yeah. Because you know how.
On the one hand, that would kind of piss me off if Bakugo somehow gets back up and suddenly on the level of freaking Deku. That would be kind of annoying. I mean, I get it. He's the rival. He's got to have some form of thing in this, but I'd rather Bakugo play support to Deku in this battle than be like literally his equal in battle.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I'd rather not have another Sasuke Uchiha route thing.
Well, the thing with unless Edgeshot somehow imprints his ability, which would be totally freaking dumb, then maybe that Bakugo now gets new versions of his power. Maybe, I have no idea.
Well, if that happens, I'm calling BS.
Headshot can control, but guess what? When you have two quirk users inside one quirk user, you get the ability to use new abilities. Oh dear Lord.
Yeah. Now, sometimes I wonder if Koei made a mistake of just only giving each person one quirk if he cannot, hold it back, if that's holding back certain strengths and weaknesses for characters.
Probably not, considering Shoto is considered a rarity. the point where it literally took like Endeavor 4 attempts to actually get said
the ideal
combination.
child.
Yeah, the golden child. Essentially, he has no weakness. I mean, like most quirks come with like some side effects, like an obvious case of Bakugo when he doesn't have his gauntlets, he can't use his explosions continuously, otherwise they screw up his arms.
Fair enough, but yeah, no,
With
granted that.
Deku, I was going to
Go
say
on.
with Deku, I mean, he doesn't. With Deku, he didn't have a body built for it, so it was always damaging himself. Yes, the only other one was when All Might. All Might was just a rarity that his body was able to immediately use one for all without any side effects.
Well, I'd probably say for like a Shoto, his weakness could possibly be water.
Yeah, but he can freeze it.
Yeah, but water can also unfreeze.
Yeah, but that's what the fire is for. The fire is hot enough. Whatever.
Okay, but fine. Okay, you win that round.
We've seen him fight underwater before. It's not apparently a problem. Somehow his fire is hot enough to burn through water. Or his ice is cold enough to freeze water. Either way, yes. We saw that he had a weakness because he never wanted to use his fire side, unless it was to heat himself back up. But
yeah, but Midoriya sort of let's see.
Yeah, every quirk apparently has like its own side effect. So like Creati can't use her powers forever, otherwise she burns through her calories.
Yep.
Uraraka, Gravity or whatever hero name is, can't stay floating forever, otherwise she gets nauseous. I guess maybe Froppy hasn't shown any weakness.
But yes, but let's see. We're probably best to get back to the actual chapter at hand rather than just everyone's weaknesses, I guess.
Well, Deku has no weaknesses and Shigaraki has no weakness because they have the primordial ability quirks. Primordial. I say that because these two quirks have yet to show any like real anything.
Well, I believe Stars and Stripes managed to find the weakness to like All for One with her own quirk, if you will.
The only reason it became a weakness is because she overrid it. It's not really a weakness if you can override someone stealing your quirk. Although she technically didn't override it, she just destroyed a bunch of quirks.
Well, I guess you could argue that she realized that the weakness of All for One is the fact that it can only take quirks, it can't destroy them and all that stuff. So
yeah,
he can't get rid of any quirks that would damage his own body and all that stuff unless he transfers it to another person.
Exactly.
So yeah. So you need like a ticking time. So if you put like a ticking time bomb and have completely moved from people that are nowhere about,
right,
you'd probably be free.
All these quirks and nothing to do with them because they can't be erased. But
and it starts to look like the memories inside the quirks are starting to fight back again, at least with like the original, like with All for One with the Endeavor fighting.
I'm curious as to, since we already know the next chapter, and I'm not going to really, it's not really a spoiler to say it, since we know it's just going to be continuing the Deku fight. I'm curious how they're going to interlope back to, again, the other fights. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, that does make me wonder because, well, let's see, Shigaraki does comment about how Toga must have kept him busy.
Right.
So it's like, okay, that fight is still going on and we have not seen one trace of it.
Well, we assume it's still going on.
Yeah. I mean, if it is off on, if it's been dealt with off screen, I am calling BS because it's like this is supposed to be the final confrontation between Toga and Uraraka.
Yeah.
It's the villain that's been built up as a more arch foe in the series, and you're telling me we're not going to see the main female character get one last moment to shine?
Right.
I mean, granted, it's happened before, I know, but still.
Right. Maybe I should save this for the next chapter. So yeah, I'll save it for the next chapter. It's not really a question precluding to anything per se. It's just something I read that I don't remember if it was actually confirmed or not.
But yeah, let's see. But yeah, I do like anyway that we got a confirmation about the pilot's been the one rescuing Midoriya, and I find it interesting that they ignored orders just to stay here to help him and all that stuff.
And they probably needed to go and get him. Yeah.
Yeah. And let's see. Yeah, they were supposed to be guarding around UA, fly sun, and all that stuff. Possibly shoot down Shigaraki. Possibly if he somehow escapes. But yeah.
As if that would work.
Probably not, but still, I guess it's like you gotta take every precaution you can.
Yeah. You gotta do everything you can to do, even though we saw that this didn't work the first time.
But anyway, let's see. I do like how we see Midoriya's reaction, and yeah, probably when you see everyone lying down like that, you would assume that they're dead. I mean,
it's pretty, yeah.
Pretty dark, yeah.
I don't know about dark, but I was just gonna say, yeah, it's something up there.
Though, one thing I do find, but yeah, I definitely, I do like how All For One of Shigaraki just knows how to really agitate Midoriya into getting angry and all that stuff. It's kind of like how Orochimaru managed to was able to get Naruto to go to Four Tails mode just by mocking about Sasuke.
Yeah.
And I do like seeing, and I did like the panel of like Midoriya's rage mode and all that stuff. I suppose unlike like some other heroes that get those sort of rage mode. Lucky for Midoriya, it's not really like he's got a demon or a monster inside him that he cannot control and all that stuff. He's able to calm down when he just like, let's see, when Lemanium is able to tell him that everything's fine and all that stuff, and also reminds him what it is to be a hero. So, yeah, I suppose that's the one difference you could say with Midoriya's transformation has. It's a lot more tame and no real berserk mode unless he lets it. But yeah.
Well, it's one that's got a natural evolution going on where one's trying to. Yeah, Midoriya was gonna probably always stay sleek and slender because the villain's always got to look bad and
gratuitous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big bad for a reason. Big bad.
The heroes are the good-looking ones. The bad guys, the ugly ones.
Yep.
Yeah, bit of a not exactly the most. Let's see, bit of a shallow message, I guess you could say. But yeah. But anyway, I do like that last panel where Midoriya ends up asking if his Shigaraki is still in there or not. As let's see, given the fact that let's see, I guess Midoriya probably realizes that it sounds like All For One that's talking within Shigaraki right now.
Yeah.
All that stuff. But yeah, but I do like that panel with him and all the heroes behind him from the previous users. And I do like how he's using Black Whip as a bit of a scarf thing. So yeah, that is pretty hype. So I think that's pretty much everything we can cover with this chapter. So
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, so I believe that this one I probably score a 8 to 9 out of 10, maybe.
Yeah, 8, 9, 8.5, whatever.
Yeah, it's around that range. I mean, it's pretty predictable of what happens, but I think it's a nice nicely paced, and it covers all the things that you need to see, such as Midoriya's. Let's see how Midoriya got there, how Midoriya reacts, how he rages, but how the Millennium calms him down, and how he gets ready to the fight and tries to see if Shigaraki is still within. Let's see, his own body and not all for one, given the fact that he is trying to save Shigaraki in a sense.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, on to chapter 368. And boy, this is where we begin with a controversy.
I keep saying this.
The cover.
Who cares?
The comic book issue. This is one of those famous comic book covers, but it ends up being a bit of a controversial one because Toru Hagakuru, aka Invisible Girl, is finally shown in full color, but she is in her hero clothes, and the only thing that, besides that's covering her is some keep out lines around, certain parts around her and all that stuff, and that has caused quite the fury storm on Twitter, Discord, even YouTube, and other social media platforms about Koei and his more fan service kind of like content, I guess you will. Oh, I have seen quite a few of my friends even react negatively to this, even the ones who don't actually read My Hero Academia.
Yeah, we know who you're talking about because of the other one that was considered not appropriate.
Are you referring to the Boruto cover?
No, I was talking about the Toga and Uraraka cover.
Oh yeah, yes, I remember that. But yes, that one might have caused a bit of controversy too. I'm not sure, but I definitely know. The only other time I can think of is one that even I believe Lucky Chi thought was going too far. Was one with Mamno Yaruso or Creati, where I'm not going to say the content on this channel, but yeah, even he thought that was going too far. But yeah, this one is definitely.
Y'all are too sensitive.
Well, I've seen all kinds of response to this thing. Those who are like going on both on the extreme ends. Ones are going like, let's see, nice, and like, I think you guys are going a bit too far with your, let's just say, interest with with this cover, while others are going like, Koei is like a massive pervert, if you will, and all that stuff. And
you can't say the other P word on here.
No, I'm not going to say it.
We're not saying another P word on here.
Let's see, but yeah, I'd rather not, in case that gets me demonetized, even though
Blue needs money.
Granted, I don't really get paid for this, and not to mention, I don't think let's see, and I don't think
that theme yard, you got to start paying us some moolah.
But still, just in case, I'd rather not go that. But yeah, let's see. My stance is, on one hand, okay, I get that it's fictional and Japan has different rules for this kind of thing. Though I do kind of wish that the first color cover of what actually Invisible Girl looks like would have been more of like just her and having a normal day hanging out with her friends in a school uniform or something. Or if you had to do the hero suit thing, perhaps maybe getting a more in the battle pose position, but having like derbis of smoke covering the more.
How would that have been better than caution tape? How would that in any way, shape, or form be better?
Well, I guess it's just the way her pose is just making it like, oh boy, this is not.
What is the difference at this point, man?
But I don't know. I guess it's just more like a bit more. Okay, let me explain. Let me explain more like not like pretty skimpy like background like smoke and all that stuff. There's more like just covering more better covering than what lines would do.
I will admit, Koei likes making curves.
Yes, he likes making curls, which he's admitted, and I think he even once said Mineta was his favorite character, which has not probably helped the fact that what people have called them.
I'm just saying curves because she's a little on the more thicker side compared to what most shonen characters like that. He's the exact opposite of Oda. Let us just say this.
Yeah, funny enough, Oda's also done a bit of skin revealing as well, though granted it was a much older character, so I doubt it caused as much controversy. I know some people have compared this cover to like that one infamous She-Hulk issue years back, though.
There's only one person I know of that did that, and it was in our freaking group chat.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And I am telling you right now that could actually still be somewhere on the internet, but you have not found it, and you know it.
I found that cover on Google.
I know, but I'm just saying you've not seen that argument anywhere on the internet, even if it probably does exist.
Yeah, but I have, funny enough, even though when I typed Invisible Girl's name, let's see, the My Hero Academia cover is already in a Google search, so that's just how much this has been searched.
Well, that or how much it's circulated.
Yeah.
I was just going to say that, this is no different than when, Nami and them get into those bath scenes in One Piece.
Let's see. Let's see. I suppose that is true, though. Granted, Nami is, of course, older than the UA student, so I don't particularly
How old was she originally?
In the first part of the time skip, she was 18. In the second half of the time skip, she's 20.
Oh. That's
so
right.
yes,
Luffy's the youngest.
Yeah.
Well, Chopper's technically the youngest.
Yeah, Chopper's 15 pre-time skip, 17 post-time skip. Yeah. Luffy and Usopp 17 pre-time skip, 19 post-time skip.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's now an adult. So yeah, in post-time skip, he's now an adult. So you can probably ship him with Butter Hancock if you want to, without making it sound weird. But granted, they're probably still. Granted, it probably would be still weird for some people.
So dear God.
Let's see, but who knows? But yeah, let's see. Japan's fan service has always been a bit, let's see, caused a bit of debate amongst Westerners about what is okay and what isn't okay. I'm on a bit of the fence that this could have been handled much better. But besides that, I suppose as for finally getting to see but this is definitely one of those covers that I hope to never read in public and all that stuff. But yeah. But the chapters
okay, whatever.
But yeah. But as for let's see Invisible Girl's design itself, let's see well, mostly the head, mostly the face and all that stuff, because that's really what most people will, let's see, should arguably be talking about. I do like her hair color design. It's like a mix of gray, yellow, and pink and all that stuff.
There's no gray in there. What are you talking about?
Green. Sorry.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, two of the same colors in every aspect. No, honest to God, I don't on it. She definitely doesn't highlight her hair. I just don't. I mean, it's definitely the weirdest hair color scheme I've seen. I know he's I mean, that's the weirdest part to me. I don't know how the hell that hair works. I guess how that hair color works.
I guess Cutaway decided that due to the fact that
we never see her, I can color her however I like.
Yeah, let's see. And even the same with her unique eyes and all that stuff, given the iris pupils.
I wanted to say that she's supposed to have blonde hair, but I mean, technically everything... Green's technically the more prominent color, especially on her eyebrows and eyelashes, so... I guess she's supposed to have green hair, so I can't talk right now. I don't know what the hell the yellow is supposed to be. I can tell the highlights what they're supposed to be, but I have no idea where the frick the pink is coming from. It's like he just decided to take every major character color from this series and just, throw it on Toru. Oh, you want pink? There's some heroine color in there. Oh, you want blonde, the normal character color for American hair for some reason. That's what Japan always thinks about when blonde hair is ever used. American hair. We're the only ones with blonde hair, apparently.
But yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe too much of your American media has shown just too much blondes and all that stuff.
Oh, dear Lord. This has been going on since forever. Actually, if I'm going to be serious, I don't even think Super Saiyan was supposed to be yellow. It was supposed to be, I guess, kind of white, or Toriyama just didn't care, but he just was getting tired of using black ink.
Well, it eventually became white or silver with the Ultra Instinct, if I recall.
Yeah, after the fact. The first color page of, like the literal first color page of Super Saiyan actually was pure white, but I think in the anime when it first appeared, it was the light yellow, so that's what they went with forever since then. And then once they achieved the perfected state of Super Saiyan, it was like the golden yellow that we've come to know and realize nowadays.
But yeah, and yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, genetic wise, she's been in a family of all invisible people for all her life, so we have no idea what their hair color would be like. So I guess this makes sense, but it's just weird that he chose, freaking rainbow colored hair practically.
I guess you could say, yeah, that is true. Not to mention well, the eyes are also unique. If it was like in Naruto, it'd be a Gekkei Genkai Dojutsu.
That could be.
Yeah.
Personally, yeah. I think this cover makes her pretty damn adorable.
Let's see. I suppose, yeah, her face does look quite cute and all that stuff. It's just the rest. It's just what's below that's caused the controversy.
I mean, it's her hero costume, but whatever.
But yeah,
it's her winter hero costume, the last one we saw, just for the record.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, it's always, let's see, I do know that she was originally supposed to be a male character, but Koei changed her to a girl to make her more quirky and fun. And it's always kind of been funny, and it's always been kind of funny, like, okay, there's an invisible nude girl in front and all that stuff, and it's like with, like, even, I think, the season 3 second opening, where at the end you just have Toga pointing at you at the end and all that stuff. Granted, of course, her being see-through, you don't see any of it. But yeah, but she's always been like the sort of happy-go-lucky girl. Now, whether or not Koei's actually going to show, let's see, whether or not this is going to be the last time Koei ever shows her full-on face stuff, or if she's actually going to have a moment where you can see it in the, let's see, fully in the manga, I don't know. Let's see, I just figured that bit when let's see, yes, I'm trying to remember his, let's see, Ioma was revealed to be the traitor. I figured that'd be the only time when we would see that, but clearly that's not the case, and Koei decided to do this. But heck,
well, we needed a Kakashi reveal somehow.
Yeah. No, granted, I think I'd probably prefer. Let's see, the Kakashi reveal Omake chapter they did after the ending, when this and probably this cover kind of thing. But let's see, but her in a schoolgirl uniform, in a school uniform or something.
For the record, guys, I'm just gonna let it point out that anyone offended by this is a damn wuss. That's my stance on this. We're all freaking wusses.
Well, you're probably going to have some arguments with some people I know then.
Good luck. I'm already aware of that. You're all wusses. Screw it. It's art. We did this back in the 16th century and we still have the same argument. Go to 16th Chapel. Look up at the sky and everyone, when that was painted, was freaking livid. And now it's considered natural history. And everyone loves it. We're going to look back at this in 100 years and say, man, That man was a genius.
Possibly, provided he doesn't get himself involved in a scandal.
Poor Inuyasha. Or wait, no, not Inuyasha. I meant the other samurai-based series, Rurouni Kenshin. My bad, guys. I know that Inuyasha is written by a female. Shut up. Rurouni Kenshin coming. It's getting a reboot or a remake. I don't care which.
Let's see. Reboot of the anime, fully
And
back.
it looks awesome, by the way.
Yes, I know, but on one hand, let's see my stance on that. Let's see. Don't have much sympathy for the mangaka, but I will admit I won't blame anyone who doesn't really watch the anime, or if they do watch it, do not watch it for like the official sites. But yeah, it looks great.
I don't even know if it has that, but I mean, you can always, again, just separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, but that's perhaps more of a discussion for Rurouni Kenshin than rather my.
That's a lucky chi-based theme stream yard.
Yeah, that's probably something more related to Lucky Chi. But best not to get into that controversy. Let's see when we're just getting out of this one.
The Chi Boy.
But I do think some of the more online people have reacted well. Let's just say positively to like the Invisible Girl. Are probably going a bit too far themselves in the other direction.
I wanted to just say that the Twitter comments did not disappoint me. When I first saw that on Twitter, I'm like, oh yeah, ready for the comments.
Yeah, I'd figured. But anyway, on to the actual chapter. 368.
Fictional.
Yeah, okay, yes. Let's see, it would be pointed out that everything here is fictional, so not as bad as if it was like, real life. But still, it has caused a controversy. But anyway, chapter 368. Let's see. Rev up one for all. But yeah.
Rev it up.
Yep, rev it up. But anyway, Midoriya asks if Shigaraki's still in there. Miro, let's see, here's this. And let's see, the all for one Shigaraki ends up saying, is that really your question about Tomura Shigaraki? As he says, no, the one by that name doesn't exist anymore, and all that stuff. And as apparently the two have achieved a perfect melding of All for One and Shigaraki and all that stuff. But it goes like perhaps because it's because All for One has been alive longer, that he's the one who's in charge, apparently, as we see a bit of what appears to be Shigaraki jumping out of, let's see, All for One's stomach as he ends up grabbing his head and that stuff. With him there saying he doesn't really know what Midoriya is scheming, but you won't get your idea pie in the sky ending here, if you will. Now Midoriya just stares down on him, but Millennium ends up telling Midoriya that this is not quite the case about that, as when he made a rude accusation a while ago about friends and all that stuff, he acted like he was suddenly possessed by someone else, and he started raging and freaking out like a child and all that stuff. And says that they have not yet heard, and this is proof that they have not yet achieved perfect melding and all that stuff. As he comments about the harder they fought back, the more unstable, let's see, Shigaraki got. Which, then we get the silhouette of the ghost image of the seventh user, let's see, All Might's master and all that stuff, and Shigaraki's grandmother. Let's see, she kind of notices like the hands, I think, of her family in the big hand there, as she talks about Midoriya and tells him that he's still in there. I assume that one of the finger faces that looks up, I believe, is the face of her son, I believe. The one that she had to abandon.
Probably.
Which caused like the whole resentment in the first place that led to the monster that is Shigaraki. So I'm just getting some water out of my backpack because let's say talking drives me thirsty.
Big pick.
Ooh. But yeah. Whereas Midoriya, but this is where Shigaraki ends up. Let's see, the All for One Shigaraki ends up jumping. Let's see, and everyone can feel just the strength of this jump, given how we see. I always forget the let's see the mechanic girl's name.
Mei Hatsume.
Mei Hatsume, where her as one of her assistants feels the shake thing and all that stuff.
Like how she doesn't give a crap about it.
Yeah, that is kind of funny. With Shigaraki and preparing his arm fist, saying enough idle chit chat. He'll be taking back all one for all now, given how that was his brother's quirk and all that stuff. Causes a massive punching smash that breaks many of the buildings around. As Midoriya tells All for One to know this, he will not let him have his ideal ending either, all that stuff. And it looks like Black Whip he's used Black Whip to surround Shigaraki's giant arm, and apparently he's done this by storing enough of the third's Farjin energy within the fifth's Black Whip for a boosted binding combo of using those two quirks together to cause a sort of black chain move to send him swinging about. With All for One Shigaraki saying how the same trick won't work twice, but as the chain disappears, Midoriya ends up, or actually maybe not actually disappearing, I might have just mistaken that, as Midoriya ends up using Black Chain again to send him swinging again, and this time the second user's quirk, ghost, appears up, if you will, and tells him, Midoriya, once he's done using this, take him down within 5 minutes, or else the world loses this war, if you will. As Midoriya says he's ready to settle this, and we finally get the second user's quirk as he declares it the second transmission, as he sort of moves his hands in a sort of like switching gear-like position as Shigaraki jumps up again. And Midoriya starts punching him, and each time he does, he goes into what is described as second gear, third gear, and top gear, where eventually he sends Shigaraki All for One flying in the sky. And you hear this, and we hear from Lumenium that the sounds have been delayed with this, as Shigaraki coughs up blood, as he was wondering what he's doing to him and asks where you go. And he says this is nothing like the glowing energy from before, and talks about how fast he is, and almost too fast, as if, as the second user talks about how, as he remembers this is from Shigaraki remembers this being the second user, saying that it's a different beast than it was back in, the day of All for One and all that stuff. And apparently it's revealed that this meta ability changes a target's speeds when touched. And Midoriya uses another gear shift called Overdrive. As Midoriya ends up coming up to the sky ready to do another punch. And it's revealed that, as Isuka Midoriya would put it, this is 120% out of 100. So we now get a ghost spirit of the first user, the brother, and all that stuff, as he declares his brother, telling him that today will be the day that they end this. As we get the final panel of Midoriya using a Detroit Smash to do a massive punch in Shigaraki, ending the chapter. So, Mangareader, what are your thoughts on this chapter?
Well, we were all completely wrong on the second user's quirk, but it's technically still right.
Yeah. I figured it would be something to do with that arm cannon he had.
Guess not. Well, I guess the arm cannon still technically works in with the way that he's talking about it, but
yeah. I guess it was probably used in a similar way to that combo of Black Whip and Farjin and all that stuff. But
all he has to do is touch something and it immediately increases its speed.
Yeah.
I'm curious what the hell he was talking about after 5 minutes.
Let's see. It might be some Quirk side effect from what I can tell.
I hope it's only a side effect.
Or at least some sort of like, okay, or he tires out or something like that, but who knows?
At 5 minutes now has me like, because now what it ends with them talking about let's end this today.
But also the fact that, like we said earlier, 5 minutes can be.
I mean, what Dragon Ball's Battle Dynamic was supposed to be 5 minutes, and I think it was like 20 some odd chapters or something like that.
Yes, I believe that was the case.
I can't remember. I knew it was much longer than what anyone would have anticipated.
Yeah.
Maybe it'd been less than 20 chapters, but it was still more than 5 chapters.
Yeah. Or like with what Naruto did with the Infinite Tsukuyomi, like 15 minutes being, I don't know, a couple of chapters and all that stuff. So yeah, it's like this is not a common thing. So while Midoriya might say we need to end this in the second user says we might need to end this in 5 minutes. This could be like maybe 50 chapters for all we know.
Well, considering he's moving apparently at the speed of sound.
Yeah. But yeah, this is an interesting way of this transmission. Seems to be some sort of speed thing. I mean, I think some people wondered if Midoriya would get a speed quirk or a flash quirk, but it is a sort of interesting way of doing it, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's like a car gear kind of thing. But due to the fact that the gears were mentioned, this has gotten One Piece fans to compare it to what Luffy does with his gear transformations, and they all go like, One Piece did it better. Or My Hero Academia is trying to be One Piece.
Gear 2 technically is what this is.
Yeah, in a sense. Yeah, it is kind of like Gear 2, really.
Gear 3 did shit. I mean, honest to God, I think of all the gears, I think Gear 3 kind of is the most boring.
Well, Gear 3 is pretty much turning one part of his body into that of a giant.
Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense because he's rubber, but it's just like, man, it makes him completely immobile. Remarkably, actually easy to dodge, despite its size.
Yeah. So, as a curiosity, have you ever gotten up to One Piece to see Gear 4 and Gear 5, or do you not know about those yet?
I still know. I know what Gear 4 is. I mean, he's got 2 different variations of it. He's got the tank and then Snake.
Yes.
Unless he had like some third one that I wasn't aware of.
Well, there was a brief, more defensive one when he ended up gluttoning himself when eating against Charlotte Cracker.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. It's one of the most.
Yeah.
It's one of those more funny transformations.
Well, I mean, Oda tends to like to do humor in battle more so than
dark, edgy, serious bloodbath.
I'll never forget the Arlong battle where he just uses his teeth against him.
Oh yeah, that was funny. Yeah, I just love how everyone thinks it's goofy, but Luffy's just being 100% serious.
I think the only time one battle ended seriously was against Crocodile.
Well, to be fair, there's a few more other serious battles as well, but this was that was
the very first one that was super serious ending.
Well, yeah, I mean that was the antagonist of an entire saga and all that stuff. Not to mention the villain. Not to mention the villain. Not to mention a villain that Luffy not lost once but twice to.
Well, yeah, that's because stupid. Those specific devil fruit users are stupid OP.
Yes, Logi.
Yeah, Logi. Aren't they considered technically the most powerful?
Because they are elemental devil fruits, and their bodies become the elements themselves. So normally,
I was just asking that as a question. Weren't those the ones that were technically considered the most powerful?
yes, the most powerful. So mostly because an average person cannot touch them.
Right.
The only way you can touch them is if you had hockey
Or
or
you use their weakness or some shit like that, technically.
yes. So like, let's see, an element that's more weakness and something, an element or something that's more of a weakness to them and all that stuff. Or in the lightning one's case, rubber being
Completely a non-conduit for electricity. So
yes.
Luffy can actually touch,
Yeah, so Luffy can actually touch a lightning user.
Yeah.
And of course, the standard devil fruit weakness of the seawater.
Yeah, everyone still has that weakness. Unless, is there anyone that can transform into water?
No, the
Not yet.
closest, not yet. Though, there are some
Or
theories of
ever.
someone that might. The closest we ever got to a swimming ability is this one dude that was part of Doflamingo's crew that can swim in the earth.
Can swim in the earth.
So yeah,
I'm assuming that Oda is going to try and keep it as consistent as possible, meaning that there's never going to be a devil fruit that can allow someone to, act in water.
let's see. Well, there might be a particular antagonist that might be the final one that might have that ability. That many people have been theorizing due to his name. Emu, which I think might translate to sea or ocean in some way in Japan.
That'd be kind of crazy. The one devil fruit user that can actually operate in water. If I'm not mistaken, though, I think technically devil fruit users can operate in water, but not through their own ability.
They still get affected, but I don't think it's bad as seawater.
I just remember from again the Arlong one where they tried to trap Luffy underwater.
Luffy could do nothing in that situation.
Couldn't do anything, but they could still stretch his body.
But he could still stretch his body, but he was completely immobile by himself.
Right.
But yeah. But anyway, I suppose enough of One Piece for the time being. Back to My Hero. But yeah, I do find it interesting the conversation Midoriya and Shigaraki have at the beginning, where let's see, the All for One Shigaraki ends up just trying to say that what Midoriya is trying to do is pointless, as he has already fully taken over Shigaraki and they've merged into this new figure. But Lumenium says that no, that's not the case. I've seen it firsthand with how the angry Shigaraki ended up being when he said you had no friends. And Shigaraki's like, shut up! I had friends! Granted, it was a dog and his sister, but still. But yeah. No, this does get like the seventh user. I do find it interesting that it gets the seventh user to realize that Shigaraki's is in there, so it does look like Koei might just go the route of having Midoriya save Shigaraki in some way.
Tough to really know how that would happen.
Yeah, I don't know how it happened, but let's see. But I better hope he doesn't make it like another Obito situation, or like what Naruto was infamous for.
I don't know how it's going to work like that, because again, we do know All for One is actually in that consciousness. So
I had to guess. I think Shigaraki's going to do a self-sacrifice and destroy himself.
Maybe. But I mean, even before All for One was in there, he was still doing shit on his own.
That is true.
So, I mean, I don't know what saving him technically accomplishes, because he's still a villain.
But we'll just have to wait and see what Koei's going to do in this bit. But yeah.
I mean, I guess you could argue, well, he was being influenced. Well, that is true in the sense he still committed all that shit under his own power. It's not like All for One was like telling, oh, you got to do this. So, all right, I'll do it.
Yes, this is one of those situations where this is a villain that you can't really allow to live scot-free and all that stuff.
Right.
So yeah. Other than that, let's see. I do. Besides the second user's quirk finally being revealed, I assume it might be. We've already talked about all the possible homages to that, and it wasn't really what we expect. I do like the fact that we see Midoriya combining like the Black Whip and Farjin from the fifth and third users' abilities to create a sort of black chain sort of combo move.
Yep.
That allows him to like keep grabbing onto his enemy and then send him flying quite a few places and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I did like that Midoriya is using like the Detroit Smash because that was always like All Might's signature move when he was, the strongest hero and had like one for all. I mean, all for one.
I mean, for a guy that changed his style to shoot style, he sure uses punches quite a bit still often.
Yeah. Then again, I suppose now that his body is more better adapted, and now that he can use 120% of power, he probably does, and not to mention those gadgets around his arm, I think he probably doesn't have to worry too much.
Who knows? Anyway, it just seems hilarious to me that a guy that purposely had Zuko change his whole style to use like kicks more often is suddenly going back to punches.
I guess perhaps Koro probably realizes that you get a much more variety of stuff you can do with punches compared to kicks.
Oh, poor Sanji.
Well, and that's just like Sanji.
Poor Lee.
Or Rock Lee, well, granted, okay, Rock Lee, yeah. Yeah, luckily didn't get to do much afterwards.
Yeah, Lee didn't really use too many punches either.
It is true.
In fact, to be honest, Deku's style seemed to follow a little bit of Rock Lee once Black Whip came around. I'm surprised we didn't see like a Lotus. Primary Lotus.
I mean, to be fair, Kawhi was one of the mangakas that was inspired by Kishimoto, so it could be possible.
Right. Beyond that, I don't know what else to say for this.
Yeah, I think we've pretty much covered everything for this chapter. So I think the overall score I'd probably give is also an 8 to 9 out of 10, like the last one.
I'll say 8.5 to 9.5.
Yeah, 8.5. Yeah, probably that. Let's see. Yeah. I mean, it's a very quick chapter that, let's see. No, granted, it's been overshadowed by its controversy rather than like the reveal that this is the second user's quirk, at the very least. Which is a shame about that, but I guess that's what happens when you do that kind of cover. But yeah.
That's you, but I don't know. I mean, it could be a soft 10 from me just because there's quite a bit of action. You learn what but it would be like the very softest 10. That's why I said 8.5 to 9.5.
Yeah, I can see probably what. Yeah, that might actually be better. This might be better than the last one. I do like seeing how the transformations, overdrive, and gear shift works, and how
nothing seems to conflict with anything.
Yeah.
In this percent, I don't know if there's really character development here, but there's stuff here that's pretty cool. But regardless,
I'd say plot progression with the Midoriya learning that Shigaraki was briefly in control and all that stuff. The second user's quirk and the sense of danger being like, you need to take this out in 5 minutes. Granted, I doubt Shigaraki be taken down in 5 minutes. I bet that he's going to end up getting some sort of like one last sort of like form of power up or something before Midoriya takes him down with
final form.
Yeah. Or even he gets the access to his quirks again or something. Once Aizawa and the copycat dude ends up getting blinded somehow.
Yeah, someone somewhere would have to be able to take him out. So, well, if you think about it, maybe that's what the Prime All for One's gonna do.
Yeah, but there's also the other sort of like fights that you go on, like All for One's against Endeavor, like you said. Not to mention Darby is back into the fight against his brother. Let's see, Shoto.
There's a lot to do. And
not
technically,
to mention,
I was thinking about this, but I'm just thinking like we still need to do like maybe like some conclusion to Deku versus Bakugo at some point.
Let's see. My best guess would always be like a second school festival, but I could be wrong.
Well, that's why I'm saying we might go the Naruto versus Sasuke route at the end after this.
Yeah, it's very well possible. I mean,
there's your 500 chapters right there.
Yeah, that does seem to be the case with like most mangas that have a very huge emphasis on a rival, like Naruto, Black Clover, My Hero Academia.
But the only thing I was going to bring up that I was reading, was it really said that Koei wanted to finish it by this year?
I heard they said either this year or next year, possibly. But I don't know if, let's see, he will be able to do that. Whenever a mangaka says they're going to finish it in this amount of time, it ends up being double, even triple the length.
Sounds like everyone. Oh, I'm gonna move on from this job and the end of the year, 5 years later.
Yeah, but I rather hope that he probably takes his time at the very least to next year, because there's still like a few other fights things, and I rather he not skip them. I
think someone said that if he doesn't take any breaks, there's like 14 weeks left in the year.
Yeah, but
that would mean there's literally only 14 chapters left.
Yeah, I doubt he can end it that long unless he extremely rushes it. But I think that'd be pretty unsatisfactory for most people.
That would end it at like what, 138 chapters or 380 chapters.
Let's see. Currently 368. Add 14.
That'd be 382.
Yeah. Now, whether or not he wants to end it on that number or not, I am not sure. But yeah, I hope that at very least we get to at least see the other, let's see, at least the 3 fights that we want to see outside this, like the Derby fight, the conclusion of the All for One fight, and the Toga fight. There are those other mini fights with those other villains and that we know about, but let's see, I can understand them not getting that much focus. But yeah, either way. Anyway, Mangareader, thank you for joining me in this chapter and reviewing these chapters. Shame that no one else was able to join, but who knows? I might be able to arrange something like that. It has been a rather controversial week for My Hero, but also one that Ritzy brought back, also one that has also got a lot of promise, such as the 6th season finally starting. Whether or not I review those episodes, I don't know, but I don't know. I'd worth to probably see if I can find something with Lucky Chi, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I am looking forward to what the next chapter is going to be about, and hopefully you'll be able to join me.
Yeah, possibly.
Now, whether or not it'll be a single review, double review, or even triple review is yet to be seen, but we'll wait and see. But for now, Plus Ultra, everyone.
Plus Ultra, guys.
And with that, and goodbye.
Bye.